fragile flame. But who's to blame? Don't leave me here in the dark. I think I deserve to know what is going on, what is going on. And maybe I've been quiet too, but we can bring it on to view. I just can't stand reading, so withdrawn. All alone now, look into our eyes. The walls are getting thin. We'll learn a little more, then choose to meet halfway. In the palms of your hands, elaborate lines are traced. All alone now, look into our eyes. The walls are getting thin. And if we choose to look, know that we will find our reflections on our we look the other way. From time to time, there's no reason to throw it away. Don't be afraid. All alone now, look into our eyes. The walls are getting in. And if we choose to look, know that we will find our reflections on our skin.
Here we are, Sonic Sofa, round 2, with Cashing in Karma on the Sonic Sofa couch. They just killed it in the Sonic Sofa studio, and they're here promoting their new EP coming out, Earthbound EP, out November 26th. I wanted to ask you guys to just talk about your EP a little bit, maybe how it's different from your first EP you guys released last year.
Who wants to go first?
Why don't you start?
So, our new EP that's coming out on November 26th, has 2 brand new band members, and year ago, these 2 guys were just joining the band, and since then we've kind of had a lot of time to really mix our styles and gel as a band as a whole, and I think that the sound that we get out of it is a little bit more inspired by what we could all add to the table instead of more influences, and I think that the energy that we've kind of created is really, it's fun.
So I tried No Joke for 20 bands before joining Cashing Karma.
20 bands.
Yeah, so for a little bit of spring and then the rest of the summer, I was hungry for joining a different band. And so I was like scouring through different online sites like Craigslist and then going through Facebook musician groups. And after trying 20 bands and then all of them just not working, I went to a Facebook group and I saw a post from Johnny actually saying, hey, we need a drummer. My band's Cashing Karma. So I checked them out and I dug what they put out. And so I contacted him and immediately he says, hey man, are you free this weekend? And I was like, Yeah, sure. And so when I went to the garage, I met Melvin and then Johnny, and then we started jamming, and then everything just gelled really nicely. And even at that point, I didn't know whether I was still gonna like commit to the band. Say, okay, well, these guys, everything feels really great playing with them. Let's give it a couple more weeks. And after a couple more weeks, after discussing heavily about like what the vision was for the band and how to go about things, I just basically found my home, so to speak.
That's awesome.
You won the sweepstakes.
Yeah, no, that's great. It's great when you can finally find a group of people who you really work well with, and you can make the kind of music that you want to make. To your point, Alex, I was gonna say, how do you guys find the time to balance both regular life and being in a band? You were saying it's a big commitment, and it does take a lot of time. How do you guys handle that?
It's learning to battle through the tough spots and remember the most rewarding thing is after the process of, putting in the time, the effort, all of the things that go into making it work. It's not an easy process. And in the music industry, gotta be willing to put in the time to get to where you want to be going before you can start to reap the rewards of that. So with this group, it's always rewarding. Practice sometimes gets a little bit stressful for each member. I feel like has dealt with their own battles and had their own issues, but as a group we support each other. We're stronger when we're working together and encouraging. And part of the magic of being in a band is it's not just having other musicians in your life. It's like having new family members that always have your back and are always willing to listen if you need to talk, and are always willing to be there, and they have their issues too, so you can be there for them. And it's a give and take, but it's an amazing experience.
Yeah, it's like being a part of a brotherhood.
Right.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. I can definitely relate to that. And as you guys are moving forward and you put out this new EP, Earthbound, what do you guys want to get out of this EP? What is the next step for you guys after?
We want to start going some places, and I think in December we're gonna be going down to Oregon, and we're gonna play 3 stops in Oregon: Eugene, Salem, and Portland. And after that, we're just kind of gonna assess where we are, and then going into 2017, based on where we are, we're gonna start going further out and trying to reach more fans, both physically and through social media.
Nice. Do you guys have any expectations for those 3 Portland shows? I mean, Oregon's not that far away, but it's a bit of a mini tour, I would say. You guys have any expectations or think about anything going to happen on that tour?
I just want every show to just be a rager. I mean, we have the ability to put on a show on any given night. You just tell us a date, and we'll be like, okay, cool. We'll set up a time. We're going to just take the entire place there, burn it to the ground. We're going to have fun with it. So I'm looking forward to having 3 days in a different spot and really kind of getting our chance to stretch out from home and see what kind of reaction we can get out of it.
Best video game of all time.
Ooh, okay. I said Sonic Adventure at a time. I actually want to change my answer. I'm a Tekken fan, so Tekken 3 to probably 7. I'm waiting for 7, but as my earliest memory was just playing video games and playing fighting games with my parents and my brother, and that was home for me. That was great.
Perfect. How about you, Johnny?
The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. It was, one of the first RPGs to be in a 3D world space, and it blew my 7-year-old mind at the time. And also, it was the first thing that get me into music.
Hell yeah.
I really liked the soundtrack, and it kind of just sparked everything up.
That's awesome. How about you, Alex?
Super Smash Bros. Melee. Specifically, the other ones kind of suck.
Shots fired.
I'm partial because GameCube is my favorite console, and I love to Falcon Punch people because it's funny. When
Yeah.
they're oh, you shouldn't have landed that. Totally did though. In the air. I'm just kidding.
That's awesome. How about you, Will?
My favorite is BioShock, and I don't think I need to say any more about that game.
Boom. BioShock. Period.
I thought it was the last of
The
us.
winner.
I'm sorry.
What?
That just shows
That's
how
it.